Talk shit, get hit 5. Are you raising your kids and realizing what the word transformation really means? Most of us who were brought up in the beginning Gen X age group, we were seen but not heard. We were not allowed to really talk about our feelings, and we didn't really have a say in anything. But then I realized as I was raising my kids, I could see such a shift in myself. I got to do all the things I always wanted to do with them. So wonderful. So, in my book, Parenting Scholar Athletes, in chapter 6, Shift Your Intention to Guide and Transform, this is a great chapter where I talk about the different shifts that happened with me and how I learned strategies to help me transform as well as my kids. They do say when you have kids, it's wonderful because they also help you learn so many lessons. And it is so true. So if you had one of those childhoods where there's a lot of it that you'd like to truly forget or not think about, this is really an awesome time, though, where you can heal from these different things. I think the biggest thing I learned was to sit in my feelings and breathe. That's what helped me learn to transform. And it comes from really thinking about my own feelings during these times. So many things happened where, as a child, you just either stuffed them down, you didn't acknowledge them, you weren't allowed to talk about them. And I made sure that I told my kids if there's anything you need to talk about, I'm here. Your dad and I are here to listen and to hear you. I feel like things that our children go through are good for us because we were not allowed to actually see the ending of something or actually work towards healing of how maybe a friend made us feel growing up. If things happened, maybe we had a tight friend that we could talk to, but I don't remember being able to talk to my parents about anything. And so that hurt was never really healed. So it was there, and as my kids grew and as I saw them have to deal with certain things that they didn't like that happened from a so called friend, it was a great way for me to think about, oh, wow, I remember when this happened to me when I was a kid, and it gave me a chance to heal me. As a parent now, we want to take care of everything for our kids. We remember, oh, we weren't helped out in this area or that area. But let me remind you, we have to let our kids feel their feelings and let them go through things. But we can talk to them and we can help them and give them different strategies and different ideas. But it really is ultimately up to them to work through this. Don't forget, difficult roads often lead to beautiful destinations. So it is important for us to help our children through things, but not to snowplow everything out of the way for them. They have to feel their feelings because if they can learn how to deal with something that they didn't like with a friend in their younger years, they'll be able to do it when they get older. Helping them to become a problem solver is what they really need to learn in the world today. The 4 keys that help me raise my kids that I talk about in my book are scheduling, communication, consistency, and of course, love in all of them. In this area and in this chapter is full of strategies and ways to use communication with your child and sprinkled with lots of love. In this chapter, there is a quick story that happened with my one daughter and how she had to realize certain things and grow. You see, when she was younger in elementary school, she always got A's and everything, and I don't think she really had to study much. She's very intelligent that way and grasped things very quickly. But then when she was in middle school, she was in like the honors classes and things like that, but things got a little tough, and I think she just took it for granted. So one day I picked her up and she was really quiet. And I thought, this is strange. This isn't like her. And I was like, hey, how's it going? And she was quiet again. And then she just started crying. And this girl, she never really cried. So I knew, uh-oh, something's up. But like as a mom, you always think, oh my gosh, is this going to push her over the edge? Whatever is going on? Is she going to become a drug addict? And then your mind as a mom starts to go crazy. So I sat with it and I was just like, so what's going on? And it turned out she got an F in math. And math, she was like brilliant in. And what happened was she just was like, I can't do it anymore. I'm so upset, blah, blah, blah. So I said, hey, you know what? Why don't you not do volleyball for now? You know what? You can do it next year. And then it was quiet. I let her breathe. And then I thought, you can also just go to a lower math class. Not a big deal. I'll talk to the counselor and then you don't have to struggle as much. And then I just took a breath, let that soak into her. And then I said, and you know what? I know you're swimming because that's something she did year round. She was on a swim team. And I said, you don't have to even do swimming anymore. Let's just take a break. And that way you go to school, math class will be easier, and we'll just go from there. So it was quiet. And then she started talking. And I was just there to listen. And she said, well, I really like volleyball, and it's only going to be a few more weeks because it was only like a middle school thing, like a 6-week thing. And I said, oh, okay. And then she said, well, I really don't want to go down to the lower math because I just feel like that's not for me. I think I just want to stay in the math class that I'm at. Okay. And then she said, and when I swim, I love swimming because it's like I get to meditate and just work on me, mom. And I just love that feeling. I'm like, okay. And then give some time as we're driving home. And I said, so maybe you just didn't study enough. And she was like, yeah, I just think I need to study more. I just maybe took it for granted. And she just went on and on like that. And that's my point. They're going to be upset about things. And all we can do is be there. We're their mentor. We can offer some ideas, breathing and practicing to show them how, yes, bad things happen, and this is how we can solve them. So if we practice with them, they will know how to do it when they get older. And sure enough, she did. I mean, she had problems in high school. And she started taking things on herself, but telling us in college she had a chance to do that. She was in a sorority and something was going on and she had to go and talk to people, and the one head lady came. She was a doctor at this point, but she came up from Philly to help. And it really is wonderful to watch them use what you teach them when they're younger. So remember, be there as their mentor and help them with strategies. Until next time, be you and continue to show love and expand your heart.